So I did some math, Sparky.
Mm-hmm.
And you have 3 songs that were on the radio. 25K per, but max is at 50K. So really, you're only getting paid for 2 of those, 50K. But you know, there was recently a lot of submissions, and with the submissions plus your backlog, if my calculations are correct, your paycheck is gonna be $575,000.
Lovely. When does this happen?
So I'm trying to finish it by the end of the weekend. I should have the budget finished for the backlog. And what I think I'll do, just so everyone has some bread ASAP in their pockets, I'll probably do everything up until like right now in the month for the budget. So July 1st to like August, whatever today is, tomorrow, whatever works. So that way people get a good pay, but then we'll probably only do like the last 2 weeks of August for the payroll in mid-September. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So we'll do it like the 1st to the end of the month, and then we submit it by the 15th of the next month.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long it's going to take for them to get that back to us, like the budget. But Harlow, and it's a good thing you're here too, Zelda, because Harlow, I put her in charge of payroll. Like, not only payroll for this, but payroll for events, for anything, like people who need paid out. She's gonna handle all that.
Okay.
Because she made all those spreadsheets, so she's like the numbers girl.
I mean, I ain't on a contract,
Yeah,
fam,
pretty
so
much.
who says I gotta give money to the label? You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'll probably chuck 75K in there.
Well,
Lovely.
I have some information.
Let's hear it.
Okay, so do you guys both know the attendant or the Shrugway guy?
Yeah.
Mr. Shrugway. How could I not?
Exactly.
Big
Mr.
fan of the
Sandwich.
sandwiches.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, I had a talk with him, and he's interested in having some events like through Shrugway, if that makes sense. And I like the guy. He seems very passionate about this kind of stuff. He has some small events that he's done for Shrugway or is planning to. But so the only problem with that would be so he doesn't want to really do ticket sales. He but he's in good contact with Parks and Recs. I don't know. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
You said
yeah.
he did what for Parks and Rec? What
So
about Parks and Rec?
so he's in good contact with them. So if we were to like suggest a budget, he can pitch it to them, and they can like provide the money for an event.
Hasn't Parks and Rec hasn't that shit been pretty much dead for like a year almost now?
I'm
Wasn't
pretty
like
sure
Scud and all of
we
them
don't
part
have a
of
very
it?
good relationship with them at the moment. After
I don't even think
Yeah, but that could
Mandem.
go if it goes
budget
through
anymore.
him, you know.
What's that girl's name? That little redhead ginger girl, Mari or something? She used to do all the shit. Mari McKay or something. Mari McKay, Scott, TV Man, all them. They used to work for
I'm not
Parks
sure,
and
but
Rec.
he told me basically that they love to sponsor events and stuff. So like he said that he thought they would probably be down to do it. But this is like he's talking about we can do like quick pop-up events, and basically also said like if they ever get a clock-in system in the future, our artists could do pop-up events like on the daily there and just sign in to make some cash, you know, until we get our own clock-in system.
Now that we got everyone here, actually, this is a perfect time for me to communicate this. So after the bimbos dipped, Tommy.
Wait, what?
Oh god, do I have to explain this again?
No, she was standing right there in the same room when I said they left.
The bimbos are on Wu Chang. TLDR, they took a lot of money to go to Wu Chang. They wanted the money. They're gone.
800K. Which, by the way, is how much I'm getting paid on my radio paycheck.
So,
Quick brag.
after that, and after speaking to the bimbos and stuff, T and myself I've spoke about how we need to make sure that we have people like yourselves and more of people, because you two here probably, I'd say, are the most fully dedicated. Like Molly definitely, Zelda definitely the most dedicated to like just the label, you know? Like everything you do, Molly, is the label, right? That's kind of when you're in the city, you're just doing label shit. When you're out of the city, you're doing label shit.
When I'm in every country, when I'm out of the city, when
Yeah.
I sleep, I'm pretty much 24/7 from the second I wake up.
So we want to find a few more people who can have that same thing, because myself and Dwayne and T, you know, love the label and would love to fucking do what you do, but because we're in the gang, it's just techie. Like, and there's been multiple problems that have come from us not having the time to dedicate. So it's finding people that can just, we just need a full team of people, like, so that everyone is on the same page as you guys, really. And there's no one, like, you're not in a meeting with us and it's like, oh, we're gonna go dip and do some gang shit. It's like there's people who are gonna be there for the meetings. That's basically what we're on. We have also now got potentially a lawyer that is like our lawyer, a Mandem Records lawyer called CJ, who is a pretty cool guy. He wants to work. He's basically down to do kind of like a exclusivity thing where he's just our lawyer. Doesn't work with anyone else. He does all of our shit. That includes like say any of you guys got into
that day.
It's called CJ.
Was that CJ? I don't know.
It's like, say any of you got into like a sticky situation crime-wise, as well as the label shit, like you can call to him, you can help him, he'll be able to sort you out. First thing we actually
CJ Walker, lawyer.
Yes. Yeah, that's him.
Yes.
First thing we asked him to do, which is a good thing for the radio thing, is obviously everyone's getting big bag now from the radio. So after losing the bimbos, our main focus, two main focuses, is obviously getting a couple more employees on the civ side of things who aren't like tied to gang life and stuff, and then also to get everyone contracted who isn't already contracted, and in the contract have an addition now where any song that goes onto the radio, if it's a Mandem Records artist and it's gone onto the radio, the label takes 10% of how much you get paid for the song being on the radio, which is the same fee that Wu Chang's going to be doing. Which then means, obviously, the more songs that go on the radio, the artists are benefiting, they're getting more money than they ever had, but the label's still going to be making money as well. So it's 7.5k per submission.
Are you sure that's the route to take? Because independent artists aren't getting waxed anything and can still get their stuff on the
That's just how it works, though. That's the benefit of being independent. But, you know, you can't... If you're independent, you still need a label to help you get your songs on the radio. And the payout goes to the label and then it's distributed, right? So you would still... Independent artists, if they found a way to do it, could do it. But the benefit... I'm
pretty sure Ayub said that he would allow independent artists to go directly through.
But that's just independence. Like, that's the same as that is what being independent means. You know, you can do that. Yeah, you're going to make more money. There's less people taking your pie away, but you don't get the access to the shit you get at a label.
No, I'm for the 10%.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you're independent, you also don't get the same exposure as being in the label and stuff like that. You know?
And 10%, like, if you're getting 75 grand, handing over 7.5k to the label is nothing. And then it just means that, you know, the label's getting funded, then you can do events with the money. It means we don't have to give up any shares to investors and stuff. It just means the more music people are releasing and putting on the radio, the more money the label is making from those songs. So that's one thing we definitely want to push. And then with the contracts, we want to make sure that there's clauses where people can get out of the contracts, but they have to go about it the right way. It has to be like approved, or there's buyout clauses, or it can be like a short-term deal. Like the Bimbo signed the album deal, so maybe we'll start doing album deals or EP deals or whatever deals, you know, to the artists. But we want everyone contracted. Anyone who's currently on the label needs to be contracted, and then find a couple more employees to just be able to help you guys with day-to-day and like spread the workload, because it's not fair that you guys are doing the amount you're doing,
like,
you know.
You have the current clause that's like damages loss, paying out.
It's my air conditioning unit, chat.
The reason why I got CJ's number, I talked to him before we had that meeting with those people.
You put it on
low
low
mode. I told
mode.
him I have that contract. I just wanted lawyers to look it over and make it like tighten it, because I figured we were gonna go in this direction after all that. I'm not super opposed to the 10% being taken out. I guess I'm just not confident what the reaction of like some of the artists would be.
If they have a
And
problem, they can
does
go
that
fuck
also
themselves.
does that also include the 10% pay to the administrative? So anyone who works on the administrative side gets like a 50K, like
No,
Harlow, for example.
That will go to the administrative people. But
Okay.
anyone who has a problem with the label getting money, in my opinion, should not be on the label, because it's not about just them winning. It's about us all winning, and it's
I think
always
it's
been a
just
family
everyone
vibe.
just finally getting paid, you know?
Yeah, but I mean, you know, 7.5K, you're still getting over 60 grand a song on the radio, which is
What if we
a lot more than ever.
Okay, so if we're doing stuff like that, all right, and if we're trying to get people into more serious positions, you know, are we gonna talk about certain salary pays for certain positions monthly? Are we gonna talk about what's gonna be the main? Because I think right now our biggest problem is our event planners are too scared to do anything on their own.
Yep.
I've been really
I was
thinking
gonna bring that
about
up
it.
too.
And I think if the big boys took a step away from like management, because I run into like a constant issue where people are like, I'll just talk to Sparky, I'll just talk to Dwayne, and I'm like, I'm cool for it and I'm down for it, but I'm like, you know,
That's why we
y'all
want to
don't have the
replace
time of
ourselves,
day.
essentially, is because, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, there needs to be, the problem is if people want to reach out to us, that's like, I'm always open to people calling me and stuff, but, you know, 9 times out of 10 in my day, I'm probably selling drugs or shooting police or doing some fucking
And then
stuff like that, right?
The biggest response is call Molly.
Yeah, which is why we want to get, you know, if we had you two and 3 other people who are just like, you know, you all get along, you all kind of, you know, you're on the same page, you spread the workload, there's constantly people who can be contacted, like, that's what we need. Because I also understand, like, for new people in the city, like, reaching out to Dwayne, reaching out to T might be, like, an intimate, like, you know, they might not feel it's too accessible.
Still have like a role to play though.
Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. We're gonna,
you know?
we want to be able to still, essentially, it's like, T wants to sign off and oversee. So
yeah.
the support from Mandem will always be for the label, because it's a family label. Like, the Mandem is always gonna support the label, even if we're not like involved in the day-to-day shit. But like, it's also gonna be involved in the business, but just not to the point where it's like, you know, affecting the business. Because we've had multiple times now where us being involved has affected it. So still oversee it, and like if there's big decisions being made, it's like it goes to everyone and then it's like agreed on by everyone. But we have people who are accessible and able to have conversations and free to come and have meetings and do all this shit. Yo, Sinoja with a
That's
tier
another
1.
thing too. Like, I've also gotten like texts like, oh, I'll ask this person about this, and I'm like, I mean, you can just run it, you know? Like,
Yeah.
someone had an idea about an event, and I said, yeah, just just run it. And
I've landed in the
Yo,
pot.
run with a prime.
I don't
You
know.
were
I think they're
trilingual,
scared.
Zelda.
Yeah.
I think there's a dog that sneaked in here.
So
I see it.
I'm down for it. I would just say let's definitely take our, like, the biggest thing I would say is we don't want to put the wrong people in those positions. You know what I mean? Like, we definitely want to take our time with it. I was talking to Zelda the other day, actually probably, I don't know, a while ago now, about some of the OGs in the city taking some OG business civs, you know, people like Adonis or Scud, or people who like never really, you know, the
Prime.
old the old Dean World hub, you know, the old
Yeah.
market
Yeah.
people. That's what I need here. And even despite the ticket system, I think something that we should do right now is at some point have a meeting with Gaff. Zelda, you can do this. Have a meeting with Gaff and tell him he needs to. The sales team needs to be on it with like getting our mixtapes and stuff pushed on the streets.
Yeah.
Like first of all the money they sell
landed
for
in the pot.
like selling the mixtapes goes to them. We're just taking the play royalties because that can't be
Exactly.
fucked to track that shit. So that's so
Yeah,
much
and I'm not
money in
sure
their
all of them
pocket.
are aware that they will get.
They're
it.
not. And what was the issue with Cerberus office the other day not working? Was that like a me thing or everybody thing?
Yo, Elia, with
I've-
the
I've
prime.
The
only
server
been-
six.
I haven't
I've
been there
only-
since this building's been a thing. I ain't gonna lie.
Could you do me a favor at some point and head over there and see if you can still get into the MDM Records storage? I
Landed in the
tried
park.
to the other day, and
Oh, I
couldn't.
can, cause I had like all the tickets for my event in there. And
Yo,
I still
Andrew with a
people were grabbing
2
it.
Yeah, I don't
months.
know. I couldn't. Well, I couldn't get into it. I don't know what the fuck.
Hmm.
Maybe I was just scuffed. Or
We need to encourage mixtape culture more though, like the artists to want to move their own mixtapes as well, because that's something that Chang is good at. And I was
Yes.
speaking to Damien about that, and there's a lot of money where you can
There is
be
a lot
made
of
if you actually
Not
push
only
your own
that-
Landed in
tapes.
the park.
Have you ever seen my merch?
5 months of SK.
Yeah, merch is a good one as well. We need the one problem we got at the moment as well is the tape printer is on the block, but that should be getting moved to this building very soon. So, as well as a sign-in system
in the
where
park.
you can hopefully get.
Sparky knee SK.
You know,
I have so
Sparky
much
knee
stuff in this
SK.
merch, but I make so much money.
Yo,
off it.
Llama and Kenty with the
Yeah.
subs. But yeah, we're not
Yeah.
just gonna stick someone in these places like random. We're gonna make like
no, but I think
it'll probably be
Gaff
there's
is already
most
in that
likely.
place.
Yeah, but the problem is that, like we also need you two need tickets first of all, and we also need people
I've landed in the
like
park.
whoever's
Oi,
gonna
oi.
be in
I'll
their
be
roles needs
honest with
tickets.
you, not only do I need because I really like my international.
What's on with the
business.
2
What I'm
months?
doing in South America right now, Sparky, you don't understand like the sheer talent
Yeah.
that's down there right now, but they just don't have the resources like we do up here. So I've been pretty much teaching them everything, but I've been doing it in multiple countries. So like, not only do I need a ticket here, I need a ticket to the fucking green and fucking purple counties too. So
I would
can
say what you're
get
doing
some work
around there
done.
is sick. It's like the growing the label like to different cities is so cold.
Do
We
you wanna
proper need to focus on
Do you
this
wanna
city right now
hear-
though. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't fucking
I'm gonna be honest. I think like
Zelda's got it.
if Molly if Molly wants to focus,
I just want to focus on my world tour until the end of the
Yeah.
month.
Yeah,
That's
that's
gonna be
fine. That's fine.
something
Well, then
I really do
we'll
want a
probably
lot
have
of
to bring
support for.
people to run. We'll have to make sure there's people properly pushing this because I don't think you understand the extent of the conversations that we're having at the moment about Mandem Records. Like it's like back against the wall. We need to do something kind of conversations. Like everyone across the board is very like floating and it's all good. It's like fine, we're chilling or whatever. But we are at a point where everyone who kind of is seeing the label is like, even P Money came to us yesterday and was like, yo, do you man need help? Like, it's not looking good. So we're at a point where we need to be doing everything we can
I've landed in
to
the park.
fix the
Steals the
label.
bimbos and then asks us if we need help.
Yeah.
Nah, P Money's not responsible for that.
I know, but it
Yeah.
was
This is
still
another
a
thing, I
series
can't
of
lie.
events.
This is one thing that I actually really want to enforce.
I've landed in
When
the
doing the
park.
business shit, we need to stop upping labels. And regardless of what labels doing shit, grudges can be held. There's like a certain line of business where there's help out there as well. And Chang have, you could argue, fucked us over with some artists. But the more that we enemize them and the more that we have animosity towards them, it's just going to bite ourselves in the ass. And it's just got to keep it
I
professional
know.
and be like, you know what? It don't fucking matter what's going on over there. Like, be
Do you
happy
think
to
that's
work
what the
with
case
anyone.
is with me?
Not necessarily, but I think there's definitely a big factor of,
Damn, I'd be
There's
fucking
very-
scheduling shows for them motherfuckers.
we're
I don't
reclusive.
know.
We're everyone. It's not just us. It's everyone in the city is very into their own label. But me and P were saying yesterday, at the end of the day, all the people who care about the music and want to push this music scene want to work together. It doesn't matter what label you're on, whatever. There needs to be
yeah,
across the
no,
board
we're all
respect
about
for
it.
all sides.
Yeah,
Even
I'm
if
all
they
about that
poach,
too.
even if they fucking poach, it is what it is, Business is business. It happens. And it's like, we just doesn't need to be a fuck Wu-Chang thing or a fuck Cream Pie thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's just business.
Whoa.
I
Okay.
don't think that's what we've been like.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that is. I'm just saying across the board, that's
Unless
what we need
they
to
send
push.
another corporate spy.
Oh yeah.
Nah, there's no like, for me at least, there's no beef like towards Wu-Chang. Most
Yeah,
of the
good,
people
good, good.
I mean, I'm gonna be, of course, I'm gonna talk my shit about
Yo,
them.
Amber's
leaving, but
dingus
outside
and
of that,
what's
like, I
on?
think they
Thank
even
you for the
know, like,
subs.
I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Right now, my biggest, I wanna,
I'm gonna
my,
eat
so
some
my
more
world
melon
tour
now.
here. I'm doing my birthday's on August 23rd, and I'm
Mhm.
doing my start of my world tour here in North America. And that whole week, I'm gonna be flying all around doing crazy shows. So I don't know if it's something I'm gonna utilize like the full MDM Records sales team for. I might just like hit the streets with like Gaff and a couple of the others that I know are pretty confident and make some serious cheddar. But I plan on dumping quite a bit of that into the MDM Records fund as well. Cause I know if I hit them streets and be selling it, I'd be selling to everybody, their grandma, their dogs, their cats. You got a fucking local bird that hangs out in your front yard, they need a VIP ticket.
We also need to sit down with you, Dwayne, and Tommy. Need to sit down, Molly. You three, sort
I've been trying to
out
organize
shit like that.
that for like a month. I have been trying so hard.
That's a crucial sit down. And then another
No
sit
one
down that's
listens
crucial
to me.
is like everyone combined. I think they do listen to you, but you know, Dwayne's not around till September, and T is like busy as Don. So it will happen. It's just, you know, you got to find a time when it can happen.
I heard what you were saying before, Sparky, about like MDM Records being dead or whatever.
Mhm.
But what I gotta say though is like me and Molly have been really trying to like involve people.
Our shit
and,
ain't dead. They can
like we've
no
been
offense, suck my dick,
you
our
know,
shit
if
ain't
you
dead.
if you had, I don't know if you've like had a look, you know, look at the email chain or whatever, the last couple, I don't know what would say, Molly.
Yeah, shit's moving. This is the thing. I see the email chain.
And
I look in the email
I've been
chain.
trying to organize events,
But
you
it's
know?
not. That's the
And
thing. It's not you
The
two.
only problem is artists don't fucking respond.
Well,
You know?
I think the biggest thing is that our artists can never fucking get into town. If you think about if you think about the majority of our artists, like now with the Bimbo's gone, it's like literally Cap, Sparky, Els. Well, I'm still not even guaranteed like that. You know what I mean? Pockets only run so deep, so there's only like 4 artists who can guarantee at any event. And then guess what? Guess who? No offense, but guess who? Those are like the most busiest with gang shit artists at the same time too. So, with that being said, it's really difficult to even try to get a set list without issue A, B, and C, or you know, no offense, having to do it at fucking 9 o'clock in the morning just to be in the city. You know what I mean?
No, I feel you. The thing is it's not about it. The label's in the mud, period. It's not about you two, because you two are the only thing that is probably pushing it from not being in the mud.
Okay, but what do you see? What do you see? Okay, okay, can we just break something down real quick? In your like opinion, where is in the mud? Where is not in the mud?
In the mud is 2 artists. One artist failing to sign, and another group of artists leaving based off the same reasoning of the structure being fucked, the communication being poor, and the general professionalism of the label not being good enough. That's where we're in the mud. If 2 people have had that same problem in a 2-month window, that's why it's a problem. The contract stuff is a problem. It's not a social hub. People are spending time at Wu Chang. They're having fun in the studio. They're spending time over there. We need to turn this into a social hub.
Yeah, they're grinding tickets.
They're not, though, because it was like that before. Because we had this conversation last night. And they are and they're not. There's people from our label who can't sign in over there who are chilling there because it's a hub, regardless of the money. This place needs to be a hub. We need... It's just if you have those 2 issues, and it's not even just those 2 issues, there's those 2 examples. Multiple people from our label have gone to Wu Chang and had conversations explaining how they're upset about Mandem Records and the structure of Mandem Records. So to me and to everyone that I've spoke to it about, that's in the mud because people are unhappy and the structure's not there. And if everyone's seeing the same few issues, that's what needs to be sorted.
I think we need to consider the opinions of all the other artists and not just Don Dolph and the Bimbos.
But Cocaine Cowboy went to Wu Chang and had a conversation about potentially making a move. We got Tommy Puff, who went over and had a conversation about being unhappy and wanting to move. There's a lot of artists have this problem, but they don't speak to us. But as much as that is their fault for not speaking to us, it's also
our
our
fault for not
fault
creating an
to
environment
allow
for them
exactly
to, yeah.
create an
Yeah.
environment where these people can come and speak to us and explain these problems.
The thing is, though, Wu-Chang has like, how many artists do they even have? Like
A lot.
A lot, like probably
We
over
don't.
like
We
30,
have, like,
40. You know,
Yeah,
we have
way
like
less.
10. Like,
Yeah, this is a benefit though.
course
This is the thing people don't realize.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't think we could compare ourselves to Wu-Chang because they have more like they more like push out like a bunch of songs in a sense of like, I would say like they do quantity and we do quality. That's just my like, yeah. You
Well,
know,
that's a
like,
big
no
strength for us
offense,
at the
you know?
moment because with this
Okay,
radio
yeah.
shit, right? They've got a bunch of artists who are all going to be fighting for those slots on the radio. If we've got 10 artists, there's a lot more chance of everyone on the label getting songs on the radio. So that's a big benefit for us at the moment. But we just need like a community and an environment and
You know what?
a
I
good
need some
structure.
food. You got some food, Sparky?
Yeah, I got some food.
I do not.
Zoe, you got food?
But I get it's like, the thing is that I fully understand, right, is we all love Mandem
Okay.
Records. And it's hard to sometimes say, yo, we're in a bad situation. But
don't
right
think so.
now, you know, you have to look at it and be like, okay,
I'm
we are in a
demotivated
bad
as fuck.
situation.
And it's hard to demotivate me, to be honest. I have no sense of self-worth. I'll grind all day for this shit. So, for me to be demotivated the way that I have been, yeah. Now, I will say, it's very easy to get out of what you think is the mud right now, though.
How?
You want contracts?
That's the first
Get
step.
them all signed.
Mhm.
Okay. I bet we can get that done in a week. Depends.
Yeah.
Do we
Yeah.
want sign-on bonuses or what?
No. So it would literally be just contracts for everyone being secured. You know, if they want to leave, they've got to go through this procedure. With the new lawyer actually wrote a amended contract of the original, but just added in the clause of the 10% for the radio, and
My
that made a
beautiful
thing for like the
contracts.
album
Did he
deals
like
and
my
stuff.
contracts?
Yeah, you
Lawyer
only
like
changed
it.
a couple bits.
Oh, dang! I ain't even a lawyer. I just been to jail so many damn times.
Break my tail light. Oh, yeah. Break it. Yeah. Forward little cap. Ratatata. Make me mad and you'll see. And I break your knee. Got my stick when we spray your block. I
Told you, don't break my tail light.